Hi, B. How you doing, love? Okay, so your website. I don't know if you can hear the cat purring, actually. Can you have a little look? Let me show you. Oh, kitten. Can you hear that purring? Anyway, I thought you'd appreciate that. Your lovely website. Okay, so visuals are lovely, basically. Looks really nice. A little something about colour that I'll pick up on as we go through. But the main thing is that you haven't got a clear thing that you're offering people. There's not, for example, there's not a work with me page. And I think that makes it a little bit harder to hang everything together. So you've got quite the information is a bit scattered around. And it's not so clear what you want people to do as a result of seeing the website. And I know that you know this already. So what I'm going to do as we go through the site is just kind of pick the bits that I really like, that I'd like to see pulled together. I think we just need to have a look at the site now, actually, to make it clear. Let's just get the screen share up. Okie dokie, this sharing. Great. So here's your site. Nope. Oh, sod it. Let's just go to the home page because I want to keep these tabs open so that I can jump between them. Okay, so here we are. Hello, you. This banner is going to it's going to scroll. I want to wait for it to scroll because you've got some words on here that I really like. What you could do with this is also, there's the third picture that scrolls doesn't have any words on it, and you could put your favourite little testimonial on there. So on this home page, come home to yourself, which obviously ties in with the name of the site, which is lovely. I really like that. And then on the next one, you can have a little testimonial. So you're missing a real opportunity here. It's great that you've got an opt-in box, but you are missing an opportunity to actually tell people who you are and what you do, which is the main thing that needs to go on the homepage. It doesn't have to be long because obviously you've got your full story on the About page, but that's what needs to happen here. Look into getting or changing the plugin that does this, so that you can just tie it to your banner. I just think that's a bit more elegant, but that's a tech design thing, which is not my bag. Then it goes here to the Kirtan group devotional chanting, and this Kirtan page is one of the pages I'm going to draw on to pull together the copy that I want to go on your Work With Me page. So I don't want you to have this here. It's not that it's confusing. It's just that you could just do the story better. So here you want something that's like, hi. Okay, let's come back to this because actually this isn't. You do the welcome page. You basically harvest the copy for the welcome page from your About page and from your Work With Me page. The reason being that it's a summary, and you need to know what you're summarizing before you can write a summary. So you do that last. And it's also okay to repeat some of the copy because repetition helps people feel at home. It helps you, it helps people trust you because you're saying the same thing consistently, and that's quite important. Okay, so I'd like the navigation to go, and this is my personal preference, I say it on all the videos, homepage, About page, Work With Me, blog, then a gallery page which has your video and audio and stuff on, and then a praise or testimonials page. I like praise, especially since you're a performer, and then you can have the contact page. Let's just quickly look at the contact page because some horrors can lurk on this page. Keep updated with events and news. Email address, well done. Done, great, well done. No problems there because you've got an opt-in to your mailing list, which is perfect. And that there, which stays throughout the site, I think. So let's go to the About page. I love this. It's perfect. It's great. Really nice little biog. I love these, but what happens is you've got, these are all really pithy and beautiful, like a flute that the divine uses to carry heart-penetrating beauty. It's quite hard to take that in when you've got it sort of piled up on top of a whole bunch of other things. It's like eating a mouthful of capers, olives, and anchovies all at once. I recommend that you do more of what you've done on this page here. So you've got a lovely little quote here. I'd love to see these along with the images that you've got in the gallery sprinkled around the site much more intentionally. You can then collect them together on your praise page. What's the About page? You can then collect them together on the praise page. It is good to have a place where everything is. I would look at laying these out differently as well. Because, like I say, they're all kind of chunked together, and it's quite difficult for the brain to take it. So that's the sort of design and layout issue. So the About page is great, but I would precede this, which is your biog, with something about what you offer, what kirtan is, what sacred singing is. Now, you've got and also what you offer, and you've got a great summary of what you offer here: kirtan and bhajan, chanting workshops, Sanskrit chanting, song baths, and nada nidra. Now you can link, so I would like these to go on the About page, because that's a kind of summary of what you actually do, and that starts to anchor it down a bit more. Then going back to the About page, you've also got a lovely piece on the kirtan. Simple call and answer devotional song, open to all levels. Kirtan, this bit was really, really crucial. Kirtan takes you out of your head into a heart space of deep relaxation and connection, sinking into the precious silence between the sounding, the yoga of the 21st century. Now, there's two things here. This is a really grounded, practical, why it matters sentence. It is so important. This needs to be part of your core story, I suspect. Then the second thing, the yoga of the 21st century, there's a strong value and opinion in there, and that values and opinions tell us about you. So I'd like to hear more about why you believe it's the yoga of the 21st century. I suspect that your core story is hiding in here. So that's something to explore. Open to all levels. I'm guessing that's another part of your value system on what you're doing. There's a real sharing that's going on with your work. So again, I would look at including this in your About page. I believe that this is in your biog, this bit here. Okay, maybe it's not, but I would like to include that as well. I really like, not so much the list of venues, but Vaishnavi was one of the few Westerners to lead Bhajan and Kirtan weekly in a large Indian ashram for 3 years. That's really important. So take from these places, from the Kirtan page and the events page, to flesh out the About page, so that it's not, because the About page needs to be about you and your bio, but it also needs to be about what you're offering in a more general kind of like overall sense. What is it you offer? So have a think about that. And you're offering workshops and you're also offering performance, so you need to refer to that in a bit more detail. Then you want a work with me page where you maybe go into this in a bit more depth. You'd then link from, like, you'd highlight the names and then link to maybe a separate page for each one of these if it warrants it. Otherwise, you would just give more of a description and the date and how to book. on the page. It's just about making it so that people don't have to scroll through a lot of information to get what they need. Make it very easily like indexable. And that for that reason, I don't really like events pages so much, lists of upcoming events, which you haven't even got anything on here. It's empty. But even if you did, it's not my preferred way of finding things, because you're organising things via date. But actually, that's not how people generally choose events. They choose them via kind of, well, what's the right thing for me to go to? What level am I at? What am I interested in? What kind of experience am I going to have? So you need to present the information more from that point of view. So I personally don't think you need an events page. You just need a single work with me page from which you can navigate to events such as the Sri Lalita Saharashnama, which is on Friday, I think, which is a lovely event, and needs to be accessible from your website. I picked up this link on Facebook, and I wanted to use it as an example because it's another page on your website. So this page, along with the Kirtan page, has well, the Kirtan page is actually, oh no, it's not. That doesn't have that background. Fine. They're both darker in background. That was what I was going to pick up on. Having the white text on a darker background is okay, but it's not great for accessibility. People with vision impairments are not necessarily going to be able to read that very well. And people without vision impairments are still going to have to work harder to read it. So that's something that's worth considering. At the very least, you could, I mean, it's beautiful, this background. But you're kind of fighting the mandala in the background is fighting for brain space with the words at the front. So you've got a lovely testimonial there, which I like. So this is a pretty good page. I just wanted to talk about the layout of that and the navigation, really. Okay, so I'd like to get rid of this voice drop down and take the content that you've got, the video and audio content, put them on the same page, mainly because you haven't got a lot on there. I would also, as you get more, I would think about how you curate it, just to make it really easy to see what's there and link to it. Equally, the gallery. So maybe you just want to put these three things up here in maybe a gallery and music tab, and just get rid of voice. This page here isn't particularly useful. In fact, it's just a list of testimonials again, so it's not actually doing anything. The free online resources, these videos that you've got here, are really lovely. I think the sound on them is a bit, it would really have been preferable for your voice to be mic'd. So it makes them maybe a little bit more difficult to listen to or use than they might be. But still, my feeling would be to share them anyway. And there's a little bit of a light into what you might be offering via this website with these videos. So that's quite interesting. And if you are going to offer some free resources, you might want to have a free resources tab at the top. I prefer having kind of logical tabs at the top than drop-down menu. The thing with the drop-down menu is really that you're kind of giving people a smorgasbord of stuff because you're not really sure how they're going to use it. You need to be very conscious and mindful of how you want people to use every scrap of information that you're putting up on the website. Which doesn't mean you can't be playful, whimsical, and experiential. It just means you need to know that that's what you're doing. So with the blog, these I actually didn't look at the things on ME, but I read the ants and aphids, and the reason I'll tell you why I didn't read the things about ME is because there's something about making the blog about the people you're writing for rather than about your experience. Now, there's an argument for saying that your experience is interesting to people reading your website, excuse me. But you need to be really clear why you're talking about ME. And I would be thinking that more it's a question of placing that in the context of, okay, let me go a step back a bit. You're doing a lovely, almost like Dharma teaching with the mouse messengers and the ants and aphids thing. It's lovely insight, and the music. I think the musings thing is definitely a direction to go in. I would top and tail them with that old thing of tell them what you're going to say, tell them what you're going to tell them what you've told them. So starting and finishing with kind of why this story is relevant, why it's important. And so the thing with the ME stories, admittedly, I didn't read the blogs, which I probably should have done. I'm just reading the kind of summaries. It's not really clear why someone that's interested in bhajans and devotional singing and, I guess, personal development and enlightenment and so on would be reading a blog about the symptoms of ME within that context. So it's understanding what the conversation is that you're having, and then making everything relevant to that conversation. So by all means, talk about ME and talk about your experience, but make it relevant to your readers. I would definitely carry on in this vein, though, of musings and reflections, because it's beautiful writing, and it's very much in the same kind of feel as the devotional singing. It's inspiring, it's reflective, it's warm, it's funny, it's very you. So I like this very much. You can make it more useful by just placing it in context for people and kind of going, this is what this is about. This is what this story is about. This is why I think it's important. Okay, so your main next job is really just to pull things together into a work with me page from this page, and was there anything else on here? Oh, where's the mainly from these two pages, basically, and pull that together into a work with me page, get rid of voice, then add into the about page an introduction that summarizes what you're offering, and then create a summary on the homepage. Oh yeah, my last point just about colours was that there's a clash in colours from the pink here and then the orange here. That's so I would just think about that a little bit. I really liked the feel of this Kirtan page, by the way. And that is the kind of shift that I want to see on this site, is saying, here's a thing you can do. Let me encourage you to do it. Come and do it with me. Come and share space with me. This is why it's important. And that's going to be the driving thing on your, in inverted commas, work with me page. So even if you're not actually offering any of this stuff now, you can still create the story around this. Come and share space with me. Come and do this thing that I love to do. Let me tell you why I love to do it. Let me tell you why it's been so transformational for me. Let me explain to you how you can start doing this, why it's going to make a difference to you, why it's so beautiful. And then let me show you my singing, let me share it with you. So I think if you use that as your starting point for your website, you're going to find it much easier to kind of lead people through and build up a story around that. So that's your website review, my love. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.